Guys, I just got off with somebody super special, a guest on the podcast. I don't want to ruin the surprise, so stick around. But I do want you to know this episode is for you, especially if you've been sitting on the sidelines. Sometimes you need to come up for air. And, for all y'all deck builders, you don't just need better craftsmanship. I mean, the reality is you need better connection. Stay tuned.
Welcome to We Love Deck Builders. Let's carve a path to business growth, one insight at a time.
Go! Get up, get up, get up, get up, go! Get up, get up, get up, get up, go! Get up, 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 go! Get up, get up, go!
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Thank you for having me.
We've got Jenn Zedaker here. She is one of the many beautiful daughters that Pops and Margie from NADRA have. Thanks so much for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me and this opportunity. We're excited to do this.
Yes, yes, yes. So what did we do last week? Why were you here?
We were out for our SoCal event. It was very exciting, very successful. We had a lot of our networking members in the vicinity. It was really great.
Okay, here's what I wanted to do. I'm gonna derail for a second here because, I'm a visionary squirrel.
Love it.
There we go.
There you go.
Or I should have done the drum roll. Here we go. There we go. Okay, nerdy stuff's over. We're going to get to the real stuff. So we had our third ever NADRA SoCal regional event in beautiful Carlsbad. You guys, I'm originally from Ohio, and we've been here 19 years it'll be. And I love it here, and I'm always really excited to bring people together to enjoy it. And, especially these regional events are amazing because we get to bring, people in the industry together and break bread together and just, have a really good time. And I got to tell you, there was one thing that really stood out about this event for me. And so I think Jen can agree. Like, we're kind of looking around and we're like, I don't know. It seems like it just feels different. And it's because like everybody was talking to the sponsors, like everyone was talking. And it was actually a very easy event. We didn't have to do much. Everybody was just making the most out of it, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's the beauty in these events, right? Everyone's used to the big show and I did travel, but we're in your guys' backyard, right? So the people attending are very local and it's, the conversation is more relaxed. These guys didn't just come out of education all morning and are walking the show floor. So those shows are great, but this is a really nice setting where it's like you get that interaction, same people, same industry, right? Connections, but everybody's just relaxed. There really is something very special about these regional events.
Yeah, I love it. So let me do more of a formal introduction. So Jen is the membership coordinator at NADRA, and you could go on the website. Always go on the website. You'll find anything you need. So nadra.org/membership. And then there's a, /join, but you could just go on there. You'll see it right away. And it will break down everything about joining. But these folks are here. Jen is here. She will ensure that you have everything that you need when you join and get the most out of your membership. Do you want to speak about your role there and a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I would love to. Onboarding is almost what we created when we looked around. Just like you said, you're looking around and people are interacting and you're talking. And I think AI is great, but I think in business, sometimes we can get away from that one-on-one. We're just so busy. So at NADRA, we decided to take on the role of if you are a new member, you are coming in, we want to meet you. We want to talk to you. We want to make sure you know exactly what you have at your discretion, right? All the membership benefits. So that is what onboarding is. That's what I have started to do this year. And we love it. So far, it is like, it's just really fun because I get to talk to the builders. I get to talk to our new members, and I learn about why they came and what they're, where they're growing in their business, where they're working. So it's like it's just constant connection and introduction and meeting new people. So yeah, I love what I'm doing. And if you're listening to this and you are a member and you haven't done onboarding or you decide to join, please sign up for onboarding, because it is such a great call to have, and it is such a good way to, again, like April said, make sure that we're connecting and you guys are downloading the logo and exactly what, like these events coming up, you're signed up for our newsletter. That's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I always tell people that it's like, look, I will always recommend, I talked to 3 different builders this week, and it's like, I'll always recommend NADRA. Hands down, no matter what, you have to join because you're supporting the community, but there's just so much value in talking with other people that are going through the same things as you, connecting with, manufacturers, all the education, all the updates with code. It's a given. You have to be there. But also job tread. So I think those 2 things really will help level up your game. And of course, the reason I talk to a lot of deck builders is because we are a growth partner for deck builders. And, we help them with their acquisition system. So ensuring that they get the right clients at the right time to, help keep their pipeline full. So really recommend it. But it is kind of funny because I've been, in the space for a while now, and sometimes I just forget that people don't know what NADRA is. So maybe we should talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. We can talk about it in perspective as big picture, outdoor living. It's a place for you as a professional to find credentials and education. NADRA we have many programs, right? A lot of people kind of hear about the deck competition, which is amazing, and we love it. Right? It's a huge draw, but we also have education. We have education coming up. And what's really exciting is that NADRA really tries to move with the industry and with the time. So our classes are a live webinar. So it's really cool that you can ask in real time questions. And so again, education, that's a big one. We have deck safety. So that's another big program we have. And that's something that our members can utilize to help reach the consumer, to express why we're looking at our decks to make sure they're safe, right? So it's leading with confidence, it's leading with education, not fear. So that's really important to us. And then we have our shows, our Deck Expo, our networking opportunities, right? So if you ask a lot of our members, they're going to say that NADRA's like family. It becomes like a reunion. Like you're not, shaking hands, you're giving hugs and fist bumps. And like you said, it's just this different feel in the room when you're with members. And I love to experience. I think it's so exciting. Especially when you have someone new in the room, right? Because they're just like, they leave like, what did I just witness? What did I experience? Like people wanted to help me and they're asking me questions, and another deck builder is giving me tips, and that's where I think the biggest benefit is really that one-on-one, that networking, meeting new people. And like you said, things are always changing. So when you're in the room, you're getting those most recent changes. You're hearing it like in live time. So yeah, I could talk about that.
Yeah, I know, but it's also a way, it's like, let's come up for air, y'all. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Especially, so this was our first one, obviously at this time of year. And I was concerned if, people were going to be able to get away from the busy season. But it is Southern California. So, it's, we don't have to worry about, frost and snow and all that stuff. So, anyway, it was a great turnout.
Absolutely.
So actually, let's take it back a little bit more. Ooh, leaving you in anticipation. What's she gonna ask? Okay, before I do that, actually, looks like Bobby is here. So if you guys are listening, we do the We Love Deck Builders podcast every other Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern, and you could join live. So follow us on all of the socials and you'll see the live podcast, and you could add comments, and I'll I'll introduce you on the podcast and answer your questions or, anything like that. So you could also go on deckbuildermarketers.com/events and you can see everything that we have going on. But anyway, Bobby says it's amazing to see the videos from NADRA and seeing deck builders work with one another and collaborate. We had a newbie there. We had a few newbies, and so Jenn, she was sneaky. So you wanna say what we did there with the new member?
Yeah, so I always warn it's like a initiation, where as we are a nonprofit, right? We're a trade association, so we have our antitrust statement, and at every event, that's what we start it with, and it's lengthy. It's when you hear that, you're like, okay, this is business, this is nonprofit, right? And we gave our new guest the honor of reading it for us all. So
yeah.
Yes, we handed that torch.
I love it. At my age, it's really cool to be in a position where you can give back in a way. And I love being a part of other people's success. And that's our mission here, is to empower potential and build success for folks. And so even just, I've seen a lot of folks, as you have, like, come into this space and just how excited they are to have the awareness that, hey, it's time to like level up a little bit, and I really want to go all in. I want to be a part of this industry. I want to learn everything, I want to be like these OGs or whatever the thing is, and that fellow was exactly that. And it was exciting, isn't it? To get some new meat in.
Yeah. And you can feel the energy, and he came in and he knew about the podcast. It's how he heard it. And from like our perspective and the, membership coming in, it's like, deck builders are really special. Like it's like an up and coming outdoor living, right? I think COVID did that for us. It really made us realize how much we love our outdoor spaces. And it's only continued to build, but the respect. And when these guys come in, it's like, wait a minute, we have service providers. We have someone like April who is in this for us. They are in this to help us. Like, that blows their mind, I think it gives them confidence too, right? And people can agree or disagree with me and let us know. But I think having these teams and an association and networking events that are for this outdoor living industry is huge. It's saying, oh, wow, my work matters, and it does. It's beautiful, and it deserves that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Attention.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. It's the deck awards are awesome too. Like I'm not building any decks, I help you guys build more decks and get the type of projects you want. But sitting in that room and seeing, I love telling people about the awards too, because every year I go, it's like it's leveled up. It's a whole different ball game, like with introducing technology and different materials and new features. And I think it's really cool to see how different builders kind of have their own style, and how they do things. And I just can't even imagine what it's going to be this next year. Really.
Yeah. Every year you're like, this has to be it. There can't be anything crazier. And honestly, I thought it was what I enjoyed most about this last year was the addition of the videos. So in the past, the presentation is, pictures, which are gorgeous, but now everybody's got those drones, and oh man, it is like, they're amazing. So
it's very inspiring too. And then I'm really big on like the intangible benefits of things. And, I always tell people that it's so cool to bring your team, and your family, there's a few guys there that, they bring their kids. A lot of people bring their families, and they'll have their kids go up on stage and, accept the award with them. And it's so cool for them to see that. And then for your crew, for your team to be honored in that way and to feel proud. It's a big deal. And these intangible things, I think, are what really strengthen a company in general. And so you can't always go into things thinking that there's going to be an immediate return, right? Like sometimes, you do it for the right reason, and, you'll end up getting back. But anyway, I don't want to focus too much on the awards because that's only one component. And we are here to really talk about events. and
Yeah.
the power in the events. And I just, you guys, the folks behind NADRA, they put in a lot of time, and effort. And Pops is a true visionary, man. Like, he's like me. He's got so many ideas and he wants to do it all, and he's super passionate. And I would say in the last couple of years, there's been a lot of really exciting things going on, expanding and trying to make more connections with outdoor living as a whole. Futurescape is something that, I think Pops and NADRA have been a really big part of to bring to the United States. Really good, great success last year, and they're doing it again in Santa Monica at a better location. Here in California, I think September 2nd and 3rd.
Yep,
Again, first and second. So just go on nadra.org and sign up for the newsletter. Obviously, I want you to join the membership, but just at least sign up for the newsletter if you're on the fence. And then that way, every 2 weeks, they have so much. It's like the place to go to get industry knowledge. They spend a lot of time in those newsletters, telling you the latest news and, what's going on in general. They'll spotlight different deck builders, tell you about the events and anything that's going on like Deck Safety Month and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but.
Nope, that's exactly right. If anybody has any, because now we have NADRA Connect, which is our own members forum. We have social media, email. So nadra.org is always a great place to go in that industry news brief. That will always have your registration links. Links are always live there. So best place to go for news.
So, what do people miss when they skip industry events? You want me to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I can add to the conversation. Yeah.
You look like you wanted to say something. Is there something that comes to mind right away?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. You go.
Yeah. I think that at the local level, what people miss is that camaraderie and that connection with your local suppliers, dealers, distributors, your manufacturers, right? Like if you're meeting a rep at a show, maybe you flew into that show, right? Deck Expo, that's all the way in Las Vegas last year, New Orleans this year, it's moving. Same thing with even Futurescape. It's, so you're moving your location and you're going to work with different reps. But when you meet a rep who's at one of these events, the chances are this is their territory. This is where they are. This is where they're spending their time. So having that connection, I think, is such an amazing opportunity. And I don't know if that's quite understood as much as it could be, right? Like that the builders understand that this is a really good opportunity to meet these guys at a local level and to get that attention and time, right? Like depending where they're seeing them, maybe they're trying to rush to get to a job site, right? Like this is kind of set a time aside, like you said, where we're relaxed, having good conversation. And yeah, I think that rapport is a big one.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
Relationships. No, I was actually just talking about this with somebody today. Again, we're a growth partner here at Deck Builder Marketers is, my company. And we really help our clients move to the next level, accomplish their goals. And, but the thing is there's so much more to it than that. And there's a lot of opportunity for you to really, it's interesting. I feel like AI is I say this all the time, so I hope you guys aren't sick of me saying it, but it's almost like created a demand for authenticity and connection because you kind of don't know what to trust sometimes, right? But old school relationships are, I think, more important now than ever. And it's crazy. Like so anyway, when people work with us, we've got the nerdy stuff, we've got their online presence, we're helping to protect and grow their brand, but that's also enabling our deck builders to get out, speak with their lumber yards, speak with their reps, even do like B&I type of stuff and get out and make connections with people because those relationships are invaluable for a business,
Absolutely.
So, that's what this is about. And it's beautiful. Like I said, this event was really cool because I don't know. I guess like we felt like we had to be doing a lot to make sure everything went okay, but everything just worked. It worked well. You know, everybody was conversating and learning new things, and making connections. It was a really great time.
Yeah, and it's fun to see too that even some of our guys that were there, the connections that they didn't expect to make. Like manufacturer, and these guys talking, and so that's really cool too. Is when you see the whole chain, coming together, and that it's really good stuff. And like you said,
Yeah.
I think that face to face is really important. It's
Hmm.
very very helpful.
Yeah. A really great way to stay ahead in the industry. And again, like surface for air. But yeah, I kind of, I alluded to something earlier, and that's, I love stories. So I want you to tell me a story. Tell me, I mean, look, I think that an organization, a business, what have you, is only as strong as their leadership. And I respect you guys so much. And I thought it would be really great for you to, talk a little bit more about the family behind the founders. For the folks that don't know who Nadra is and really like who's putting this together.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's actually a really funny thing for you to say that, because I was thinking about you. I forget what you were just talking about a couple minutes ago, but I was thinking about Nadra's founding was around when I graduated high school. So it was like in 2004. And at the time, Pops, everybody knows Mike Beaudry, who is, yes, my dad, had been out and was in the industry. He was working with the deck builder, and he was like, "Oh, where's your association?" We come from the ski industry, and that's a huge thing and really important. And there really wasn't something in this industry, and it really started conversation. And then, as a teenager, I'm like, "God, Dad's crazy. It's one of his ideas," because he's an idea guy, right? Um, and
yeah.
so seeing that grow and evolve, and we've watched it, us as a family. And then my mom came in, and she does all this now, and he'll always introduce, here's the brains behind it, here's who gets it done. So it really is, ran with love and passion and all those things. So I've worked with Nadra for many years, right? So I saw that very beginning time. We really thought he was nuts. And then probably about like 7 years ago, I had started working on some of my own stuff. I went to school, did my own thing. And I moved away from working with Nadra, right? And I thought this was it. I found my career. Well, it was about a year and a half ago. It was Texas Deck Expo. And something just said, see if they need help, see if they need help, right? And I offered to go. I said, hey, do you guys need help? At this point, I'm doing everything full time on my own. I don't, if I hear Nadras, because I hear them talking, right? And so I went. My mom was like, yes, we could use help. Let's go, let's jump back in. So there was like a 5-year gap for me where I really did not have interactions with the association. And I was blown away. Like, if you guys knew, right? Like in the beginning, we'd be at a show and it's like, people are looking at your booth. Our booth would be like, a table and a chair, because again, nonprofit, that's what we had at the time. And they want to know what's a NADRA? What's a NADRA? How do you pronounce it? And now I'm here in Texas, and it's like members are in the booth. People are coming up. They're saying, hey, Margie sent me over. How do I sign up? Right. And I'm like, what? You don't want to know? We don't have to have this whole conversation. So seeing that growth and seeing people understand that the value in Nadra, knowing, all of this, like, it's really exciting, and it's very, very special. So yeah, I don't know if that was quite a story or more of like a timeline, but it just really made me realize, that, it's Mike's passion has seen it through many, many years. And Margie and Heather and, the whole crew. There's been lots of us who have been, part of this, but it's awesome to
Hmm.
witness and see. Absolutely.
Hmm. Well, so tell me a little bit more about your family. I mean, I know, but Lots of girls. One brother, right?
Yep. So I'm the middle of five. We have Mike, who's younger, and Steph, who's younger. Steffi does all the social media. She is really, really good at it. So, yep, all of our stories, everything you're always sharing with us, that's who's behind the scenes. She also does woodworking, farm with flowers. So, I mean, we really, it's like in the DNA that we're all very seekers of, our imagination and everything we love, passion. And then my older sister's Christine. She's probably one of the only ones who's never gotten into this. She saved her stuff. No, I'm just kidding. And then Heather, which everybody knows Heather. I think she's like an OG at this point. Like she's just like so, I don't know. She's so good at this stuff. So I'm still learning from her. She's my mentor of who I look at, and learn from. But yeah, we've all had our
family run, and
Yes.
lots of ladies.
Yes, four girls. Four
Mhm.
girls.
Yep. Yep. Holding the fort down, making things happen.
Yeah. And even back in the day when we were growing up, it was, we were a family of seven. So we did not get invited a whole lot of places, we were a family. So our house became our sanctuary. So COVID brought it out for the world, right? But Mike and Margie had that idea back in the 90s, the 80s. They were like, this is where it's at. It's about family, it's about outdoor living. And yeah, we had oh my gosh, the pool. In fact, Heather did an article, and that's legit our like a family childhood picture, and it's us three girls, are the oldest, right? And we're all jumping off the railing into the pool because that's what we did. We had this deck and awesome pool, and that's where we live. So yeah, his vision has been tried and true, and he saw the vision for sure. I think a lot of people have this, right? This idea of like, I don't know, just expanding the home and the outdoor and making it special. So
Yeah.
we're very passionate people.
Yes, yeah. I think having a family full of ladies, though, makes he's like a girl dad.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
so
Oh yeah. Well, and we were always raised like very tomboyish, like we all grew up snowboarding and all out, all the adventures, the dirt bikes. No, that's all up your alley. I know you're
Yeah.
doing all that. So we were never
Yeah.
afraid to get dirty. Yeah, that's
Yeah. Yeah. Complete tangent, but I just signed up. I'm getting nitrox certified. I'm gonna go do 3 tank dive in Jupiter, Florida with sharks.
Oh man, that's awesome. I want to see the
And
video.
yes, and when I first get in, there's the sea turtles are hatching, and so I signed up for a viewing, and
Oh,
then a week later too.
that's awesome. That
I
is so
know,
great.
pretty pumped. I go down to Miami a few times a year. Why? And then obviously like Clearwater, it was the Deck Awards and Summit where it was in Clearwater, and this year, and it's going to be, or next year it'll be in Coral Gables, right?
Yeah, so it is. I wrote it down. The Westin at Cape Coral Resort in Marina Village, or at Marina Village. At Marina Village. So we are really, really excited about this location. This isn't even out yet. We have the save the date, but announcing that it's at the Westin and Cape Coral is brand new. So everybody now can start to get excited. It's an absolutely beautiful resort. And it's kind of like it goes with like everything we're talking about, that like family feel. It's like everything's there very similar to Clearwater, but it's going to be I wrote it down. There's like a ferry to the beach, paddleboarding, kayaking, multiple pools, and marina and boat rentals. So it is like you can fully submerge yourself in this experience if you want to be, especially if you're coming from the north. You're kind of out there, California, you're used to this stuff. But us on the East Coast and more north, we're like, get us down there.
Yeah. Let's go play.
Yes, especially in March, which is March 3rd,
Yeah.
4th, and 5th.
Yeah.
We'll be
Okay.
ready for it.
Yeah. Bobby is here again. So Pops wants to own the outdoors. Better buy some real estate before he gobbles it all up. Yeah. It's a testament to Pops and the family that the vision has become a reality. So often people pursue their passion, but don't have everything required to make it through those lean early years. And
Oh,
it's
that is so
true.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, starting a business, it's not easy. And it's, I don't know. it's age talking, I guess. But I think with social media and YouTube videos and all these things, people go into things thinking that it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
And maybe easier,
Right.
but you still trial and error is what toughens you up and gets you to understand how to prevent things before they happen. And I'm building this graphic right now. I'm going to be sharing it with a bunch of industry leaders to get feedback, and it's like the evolution of a deck building business. So that like I think a lot of times people just think of, well, I have this problem right now I have to solve, and it feels like it's like devastating. Well, that's not going to stop. Like as you grow, different problems happen, and so being more prepared to understand those things and to look at it as like a journey and to better prepare yourself for it, I think is going to be really helpful. So I hope that this is of value for the industry. It'll be coming to NADRA headquarters way for, for some feedback, but
I love
it's not
that.
easy. Not easy.
Yeah. And it's an important conversation to have, because it's when you go into something like that's another point of with NADRA too, is you're getting people in those first couple years, right? And then you're getting people who have been in the industry for 20, 30 years, right? So that's the other thing, when you're in a room with builders, like you get all of this experience, like different levels. So you have people who are always learning from each other. Like I think it's, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. So,
well, Bobby's got another question here, and thank you so much for asking this, because of course I'm like, okay, we need to get some people together, and do like, I want to have more panels on the podcast. So seriously, if anybody's ever interested in being on the podcast, you can go to welovedeckbuilders.com and you could apply to be on the podcast. And we'll get back to you right away. So, I mean, if you want some exposure, if you want to do something fun and jam for a little bit, like, just do it. Anyway, I really want to get some different panels together where it's like more people kind of coming to the table with a different perspective on a topic. And so, anywho, I like to get ahead of myself. But what Bobby said is, speaking of the evolution of deck building businesses, are there resources when it comes to succession planning for deck builders? Bam. I think this is a really important topic. But do you have any recommendations for that?
I would say specifically on that, one of the things, like I said, with NADRA is the education. That is a huge point that I think you will just see more and more growth with. And we are working more and more with that sort of education. Like right now we have decks done right? That's the building, that's the practices. And we have deck inspection and evaluation. That's looking over the deck, making sure it's safe, understanding what structurally could be, not sound. But the idea of the business sort of aspect of it, this is something that we're definitely looking into, and something that I think even something like this would be great discussion to have in what we call NADRA Connect. And that's our members forum where you could start a conversation and talk about this. But yeah, I think that these could definitely be classes that we could use more information on and help.
Yeah.
Like business planning.
Yes. And the succession planning, or like, what are you going to do in your retirement? That type of stuff is something that you really have to think about early, because that's not going to happen overnight. And, I often say that I say the things people don't want to hear, but the reality is I talk to hundreds of deck builders, every year. And I'd say maybe, I don't know, 50 to 60% of the fellas that I talk to are, they've been in the industry for a really long time, and they're tired and their knees hurt, and they haven't proactively worked on growing a business so that, they can have a succession plan. And so I think it's something that you really need to think about now, so that every step that you take will get one step closer to, being able to have that freedom. I don't know. I don't want to create a job for myself. I did that for a long time, and then once I had kids, that changed my perspective on things. And I realized how valuable my time is, not for me, but for the people I love too, And so anyway, Bobby, thank you so much for bringing that up, because it's I'm obviously really passionate about it. And I think that it's a topic that we need to bring up a lot more. So if anyone's listening and you, are, you help people with this, or you have, really prepared yourself, and gotten things, away from, or not away, but you have set your business up so that it's not, all dependent on you, please let us know. You could always email me at april@deckbuildermarketers.com, and we'd love to have you on, or just partner up. I mean, that's what this is all about. That's why partnerships are important. We share the same values at Deck Builder Marketers as in NADRA, and I think that's why we work very well together, because we are really passionate about what we do, and we have a huge desire to help people and to make an impact.
Yes.
And so anyway, just throwing it out there, you guys, like, participate and give back. That's another episode I'm going to have, is the power of giving back, because a lot of you guys have so much to give back to the industry, to get more people into the trades, especially right now, And I think it's important that you take a little bit of time and, maybe put somebody under your wing, or stop being so prideful that only you could do things as good as you do, and understand that nobody will be able to do that if you don't participate in growing them.
Yeah. And you're going to meet the OGs in the room, right? That's what they call them when you get to ask them these questions. What are you doing? You're not swinging the hammer. What does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's definitely, and that's another thing with NADRA too. You have those other members who, that's exactly like you, do this. You help the deck builder. You work too. So there's lots of areas to sort of explore and learn about too. So definitely a lot of people out there ready to help.
I think it's like, sometimes people just need to open their mind and realize that there are actually a lot of resources and opportunity out there, NADRA is one. Again, we're talking about these events and the power in them, and why it's worth it for you to go. And I hear this a lot. So I'm a coach for other marketing agency owners, and we have what are called intensives 3 times a year. And you could do them virtually. They're like 2-day intensives where we go over, acquisition strategies, how to serve our clients better, how to build a world-class team. There's all kinds of amazing things in there. But the power in it is being in the same room with the top people in your space and learning from them. And so there's a lot of people that I coach, and they're just like, oh, I just, it's kind of a lot of money to travel down there. Well, a lot of these events are free. So really all you got to do is book your travel. And if you're really looking at everything in terms of, well, I'm going to, pay for this and I need something immediately from it, you're holding yourself back, because there's, and I keep it simple after doing this for many years and going to all kinds of events myself. I just keep it simple because I know that I'm going to get so much value. I'm going to learn so much. I'm going to be connected with new people. I just keep it simple. I'm like, I just need to leave with one action item. That's it. You're going to have a ton. But, if you do leave with one thing, it really does make it all worth it.
Yeah,
cool. We have a couple more comments here. Let's see. So Apex Takeoff. We provide cost estimation and takeoff services for contractors. Cool. Sounds good. Love it. Well, I do have some notes here. I feel like maybe we missed a couple of things. So I'm gonna read off a couple of these things because it's important to me that you guys are getting value from this. So I think the biggest thing is that good builders don't grow if they stay isolated. You don't. I mean, it's crazy. Like, you can learn from other people's mistakes by just, being in the same room with them and talking to them about that stuff. I know as a business owner, oh my God, I do not want people to have to go through some of the things that I went through. And if I can help somebody solve a problem, I'm going to tell them from my experience, if they want it, you know, and, you know.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, you know, that's what I think some of the coolest conversations is being able to ask somebody like, you know, you might, even someone local might not have the answer that another builder across the country has, you know, and that makes it really cool, especially when you get into some of these like crazy projects and it's something new for the first time, some of these like bending composites, right? Like all these crazy cool things. So yeah, when you have like a smaller group of people doing it, it's hard to get those answers sometimes. So getting out there, networking, meeting them, and next thing you know it, you're gonna have, yeah, lots of answers, lots of connections, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So good. So craftsmanship matters. Everyone knows that, you know, it goes without saying, but relationships matter too, right? I mean, that's really what we're trying to say. I think like that's probably the biggest takeaway from all this. Would you agree?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Get in the rooms, get in front of people, you know, because you're still working on the business. It's a different feel. It doesn't feel like, you know, you're on that job site. It might even feel a little weird for a builder, I think, at first to even be like, oh wait, I get to have a beer and like sit down and eat. Like it's busy season, but yeah, no, like do the network. And, you know, and another thing, just to touch back on what you said about Summit and, you know, some of these events where you're traveling, it's a business expense. It's a business expense. Okay, just write it off. It's a business expense. Like it's well worth the time and the opportunity. And yeah, I think that when people are able to do that, it's good topics. And speaking of, real quick, if I could just say in the summit, that second day, we always do, you know, like the masterminds and we do these tables. We're really putting that together and talking about our topics. So, you know, if you have ideas, if people listening have ideas and there are things like that they want to cover, they're welcome to send it to us. And we would love to hear that, because that is a big time where we have those conversations. We talk about like how things are affecting the business. Last year, AI was a huge one. That was a big topic. So yeah, having those shared conversations is good about whatever you need, whatever's going on in business, you know, right? It's going to be different for a lot of different people. What phase of business are they in? Are they new? Are they, yeah. So I think,
yeah, you guys have been doing that for the last few years. And I gave tremendous feedback on that the first year. You know, obviously going down to Florida is a lot of fun and it's family oriented and all of that stuff. But to me, that was a very good use of everyone's time to attend those. And of course, I had the privilege of moderating some of those tables as well. And it's really cool to be at a table with different providers, manufacturers, deck builders. And so they get to get insight on a particular topic from both lenses.
Yes.
When else are you going to be able to do something like that? And and NADRA puts so much time, you guys, so much time into all of this. I feel like everybody in the industry needs to give you guys like massage, you know, what am I trying to say?
Certificates.
Gifts, yes. when the deck awards are over. But with the round table, yes. Please send it to info@nadra.org.
Yeah.
But those masterminds, roundtables, whatever you want to call it, you know, NADRA gathers feedback from everyone, you know, from a lot of key players in the space to make sure that everything they do is intentional and of good value. And then they take, you know, usually somebody's taking notes. They compile all of those notes. They don't, and they do things with it. They take the feedback, whatever they're learning, they apply it. They give it to whoever it is that can move that thing forward. So don't be quiet. Don't be quiet. No question is a bad question, you know?
Yes. Speak up, don't be shy.
Yes, yeah. Be a squeaky wheel. So, you know, these regional events, first of all, I'm really privileged and honored to be a part of this, to be called a regional leader. I really am. I'm really proud of it. And I thank you guys for that opportunity.
Well, we thank you because it definitely takes members on the ground, and we know and we see the effort and what this means to you. And one of my favorite parts of witnessing SoCal, right? Because I go to these events, I enjoy them, but watching you like in your element and moving around, and like you are very good at what you do, and our industry is very lucky to have you. So
Thank
we're
you.
both really working well together. I think that is clear to see. So especially
Yeah.
after that event, it's good connections.
Cool. Thank you. I'm glad I didn't mess up.
No, oh my gosh, no, it was wonderful.
You guys, I represented well.
Absolutely. 100%.
But what I did want to say is I know that because this is the newest regional event. And so there's Jersey, and there's another one, right? And
So so
ahead.
regional, the way we sort of describe a regional event, it's a smaller scale, right? So it's not as large as a summit where you have like, massive amounts. So it's a smaller, I like to refer to as like a backyard event, like it's going to be more localized. But we have SoCal, which we just experienced. We have New Jersey, and then we have one coming up in Pennsylvania. Georgia has been a popular area. We've actually done I don't think it's called a skeet shoot. Don't quote me on this, but it's like the clay pigeon kind of shootout thing, right?
Yeah,
So we've done
I'm
that in
game.
Georgia. Yeah. So in Pennsylvania, we're doing one. So it's really these regional events. So like the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, that's kind of like your tri-state area. And I always say this. I'm glad I just remembered this one. There are not a ton of these regional events yet, right? We're growing. Leadership like you is coming in and saying, hey, we're doing events, right? But if you're able to get to one of these events, I don't know if people realize how awesome it is if there's one even an hour away. Like that's still really close, right? So I always just like to say that if you are in a drivable, like a situation where you're able to drive to it, it is definitely well worth the time. So yeah, it's definitely, so I don't know if that was like a long-winded way to answer your question, but they're popping up and they're more and more.
Well, I talked to a little somebody from Hawaii that might be listening. I never say Hawaii like a local. It's like Hawaii. But so shame on me. But yeah, if you're interested in spearheading something like this in your area, hit info@nadra.org up because they have a handbook. Like, it's a great collaboration. And it's, again, I'm a regional leader for the SoCal, regional event. And it's fulfilling. It's really great to bring everyone together and to have that time to break bread together and learn new things. But anyway, so yeah, these folks that I'm talking about in Hawaii are really interested in starting one. So you can do this. Again, this is a great way to give back. So just hit them up and start one because there's so much power in it. There really is. And it's so cool to see people come together and to take the time out to put work in to do something like that, like pro bono.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think
so.
I will pay tribute. I'll go to Hawaii and
Yes.
scope it out. I'm happy to answer any questions, check out locations, just send me out there.
Yes.
I'm your girl.
I love it. So listen, I'll just end with this. If you're a builder that's been sitting on the sidelines, I hope this episode is a reminder to get back in the room or get in the room. Yes. And you could talk to other NADRA members. They actually list all the new members that join in the newsletter. So you could reach out to, other members, and you could hear it straight from them, how much it's helped them flourish. I mean, I've seen it myself. Lots of opportunities have come their way by building those relationships. So show up locally, meet your suppliers, meet the reps, meet the manufacturers, meet other builders, and, give yourself the opportunity to pay attention to what's changing, because it doesn't always happen at once. And so seeing it in real time and having conversations about what's going on will help you grow faster. It'll help you make decisions quicker in your business. It'll help you not miss opportunities. And you don't have to solve things alone, and I think that's super powerful.
Absolutely.
So yeah, if you have any final words and of course, how to reach out to you, that would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, of course, thank you for having us. This was fun and exciting, a little nerve-wracking, but fun.
You
New
did great.
experiences. Thank you. But yeah, honestly, we say it over and over and over again, nadra.org, nadra.org. Like there's
Hmm.
just so many things you can find there, including our contact and info at Nadra that will make its way to me as well. So if you're looking to contact and, you have questions about membership, yeah, absolutely. They can reach out. And we would love for you guys to join. And I personally call you as a new member. I reach out to every new builder member. I make sure that you know what you're doing, and I offer that onboarding call. So I hope that that you guys will take advantage of it, because we are definitely here to help. This is what we do.
And make sure you sign up for the newsletter. And hey, you know what? So this is Nadra News. I've got some links in the YouTube video here. If you're watching this later, deckbuildermarketers.com, or sorry, listening later, / Nadra News will redirect you over there. But what did I want to say? What does Nadra stand for? We didn't even say that.
Whenever, oh my God. So when you have to call someone and I have to say, hi, it's Jen from Nadra, having to explain, right? The North American Deck and Railing Association. So that's
Bam.
what it stands for.
Yeah. But we have Aussies that come, right?
Yep, we
Yep.
do. We do. They actually have some really cool stuff. They've been sending their winners to their own awards out to ours, and that is like so fun. So yeah, it's just like I said, everything's growing and expanding, and I think you can just tell it's exciting.
Yeah, it's expanding internationally a lot too. So lots of
Yes.
things going on in the UK, Dubai.
Yeah, building, a lot of building. A lot of projects, a lot of things that, just lots of possibilities. That's why you have to get in the rooms. You have to know what's
Yes.
going on, right?
I love it. Well,
So,
I think
yeah,
that
thank
is
you.
that was kind of the microphone drop.
Let it be. Yep.
Well,
Agreed.
Jen, thanks so much for being here. It's a pleasure to have you and to work with you,
as
and to be a part of this organization. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And just thank you. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, we'll be around in 2 weeks. We do these every 2 weeks. Again, check out weloveduckbuilders.com. And, you can see past episodes, new upcoming episodes, and you can apply to be on the podcast. You could also get text messages whenever we have a new podcast about 15 minutes before, so that, if you're out and about, you could just like pull it up and listen. And take advantage. So anyway, keep moving forward, y'all, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, deck building community. Enjoyed the show? Hit subscribe and give us your thoughts. We love hearing from you. Ready to level up your business? Visit deckbuildermarketers.com. Check out our services and let's build your success together. Don't forget to download our free guides. They're a game changer. Thanks for tuning in to We Love Deck Builders, and see you on the next episode.